Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you. Thank you so much for just being here with me today, sharing some space, for breathing, for daydreaming. I appreciate you. How are you doing when it rains? It looks so nice there. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful day. It's super open, if you will. Like, not too many clouds in the sky, so it's going to be hot as well. Kartha, good morning to you. Is it morning for you? I feel it is morning for you as well, right? 9 a.m. again. Yeah, it is. Like, I'm still confused about your sleeping cycle. I hope that you're waking up earlier to be here. And you're not up until 9 a.m. today, Kartha. It's nice to have you here again. Melita says greetings and much love to everyone daydreaming. We're creating with awareness. It's already a reality. There we go, Melita. I have always daydreamed too much. Today's message, today's feeling, kind of stemmed from yesterday. We were talking about where do we go when we go to sleep. And after we finished the stream in the stream suggestion tab on the Discord, Mariah said that we didn't really touch on daydreaming and how daydreaming very much is the same in this ability to kind of project ourselves somewhere, experience something completely differently, and still being here, if you will. We can be somewhere out there, but we're still here. And instead of just kind of being like, "Oh yeah, that's an interesting topic, Mariah," I was like, "Sick! We'll do the whole stream today about it." So thank you, friends, for joining me. Thank you for giving me these awesome suggestions. Ryan, Brother Bear, good morning or good day to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us, for sharing love. Well, my cycle is not fixed, but I'm managing to show up for the show. Thank you, friend. Half the battle is over. It is, Kartha. We are here now. And instead of trying to, and you can, like try and answer as much as you want to, or try and participate as much as you want to. Try be creative. If you want to write something right now, for example, be a good way to, or maybe just have an instrument close by and just kind of, pluck it every now and then. Just be creative. Just daydream with me. Imagine what could be possible, if you will. I think our whole intention will just be that, right? Daydream. 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 Dreaming while it's day. Daydreaming. I've been daydreaming. I've been dreaming about new things to do, new ways to create content, if you will, new ways to do what it is we're doing. You know what? I can be dramatic about it and I can be salty, but the world that we are in right now expects us to do certain things. And Toast has been a massive inspiration on that level. He encouraged me to start making some shorts, and I did. I made like this little praying mantis short, and it's doing well. I'll just say it's doing well. It has like 690 more views than the average streams. So I'm like kind of like comically, like yeah, yeah, yeah. I know I have to do that, and I'm just like now daydreaming about how it can be realized. What I want to do is create. I'm already creating with my brother like a type of selfie stick thing, if you will. It's going to be a 3D printed little holder for this main phone that I can switch the phone in so I can have it pointing away from me and I can use it as a filming gun, if you will, and then I can just switch it around and have it kind of on my arm aligned with me so I can use it as a self filming camera as well. So I've been daydreaming about that. I've been thinking about ways to make shorter form content because I know you friends are, some of the most powerful beings in the universe. That's why you can manage to stay for as long as we can in these streams. But we cannot expect every single being on earth to be as powerful as you are. So we have to make short form content. Some people can only sustain attention for 1 minute at a time. and that's okay. I have to try and touch those people as well. Hey, night there. Thank you for joining us, Anime Drawing. It's nice to have you here. Ariane, it's nice, genuinely. How are you doing? Good morning, daydreamers. Good morning, Toast. Just before today's stream, Toast and me, had a little bit of an exchange of love being shared, and I shared with him that he was right about the shorts. So, like, and he encouraged, shared some good vibes, shared some energy, even Toasty, and it's so crazy. As soon as that message came through of sending you all my energy or take my energy or something like that, I wanted to go and find a GIF, and then the next second, I wanted to go and find a GIF, and I'm thinking, I think the only energy GIFs that I'm gonna find is probably gonna be Dragon Ball Z type GIFs, and then through comes a Dragon Ball Z GIF from Toasty sending me energy. I'm like, okay, Toast, fine, fine, Toast. They daydream for me, why don't you? Do a flip. Maybe I will, friend. At some point, Mr. Wolf. I do actually would like. I do actually would like. Yes, you have those freaking words. I would like to be able to do a backflip at some point. At some point we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll become agile enough. I wrote something just to write. Daydreaming. Awake or asleep, you ask? Daydreaming is neither nor. Is neither nor. Yet it's both at the same time. Daydreaming allows us to tiptoe the lines of our consciousness, otherwise unexplorable. Ooh, I like that, Tartha. Daydreaming allows us to explore the unexplored selves, parts of ourselves, if you will. I guess dreaming is that as well, but daydreaming, we do it intentionally. I feel, where dreaming might be something influenced by the subconscious, daydreaming would be something influenced by the conscious, or at least the greater subconscious. For example, if I'm staring out of a little window, in the middle of class, and I start daydreaming, and as I'm daydreaming, I see a little bird, fly into frame, if you will. It goes and sit on a tree. I see a snake kind of sailing up on this bird. My daydreaming as a result of this external conscious reality is going to be different because of the stuff that I'm perceiving. Where normal dreaming, at least in my opinion, is subconsciously influenced, as in you experience things in your waking reality that become a part of your subconscious, and then your subconscious tries to deal with that stuff afterwards. What do you feel, Kartha? Thank you so much for inspiring that thought, dude. I really appreciate that. Daydreaming is different in the sense that it is often consciously activated and activated by things within our consciousness. I think that's also a trip. You are talking bullshit and imagining things to get attention. Yes, Lanky, television. That's what every single person does when they talk. That's what we do as human beings, Lanky. You know, we talk, we think about things, tell stories, and then we pay attention to one another, and we give that attention to one another, as I'm giving attention to you right now. Like, your message isn't exactly very creative, but it doesn't mean it's not unworthy, right? It's not unworthy of my attention, so I'm giving you some of my attention, Lanky. I love you too, friend. Wherever we go, there we are. Melina, wherever we go, right there we are. Frankie, thank you for joining us, my friend. And what have you done today besides making negative comments? No, Nova, don't worry, my friend. I love those comments especially. And I, as of late at least, have been really fascinated with people that live in that world of like wanting to share hatred with the rest. And instead of, being attacked by them, I just kind of see it as like imagine if you were a ship and people were in the water, and they could technically just swim to the ship and climb onto the ship, but all they've learned how to use were ropes with hooks on them. So they're throwing these ropes with hooks, And technically, it is damaging the hull of the ship. It could at least damage the hull of the ship, but it's the only thing that they know how to use. That's how I'm visualizing negativity or hatred from the external world. It's not because they want to live in that reality. They don't want to be drowning like that. But when they see a ship passing and it's not drowning itself, and they feel unworthy of getting on it, they might just throw hooks at it and then try and get dragged along with it. Right? So I'm like, oh, hello. It starts pulling on the rope. Come, come, there's space on the boat for all of us, friend. It's not that hard. I think took from my whoa. I think you took the words from my mouth. We're thinking the same thing, friend. We're synchronizing. Those comments are almost necessary, for without balance, you're both in the wrong. You're right. We appreciate your input either way, friend. You are now a part of the conversation, and we take that any way you'd like. Yeah, you quite literally are, friend. You've made yourself a part of it. If I'm going to talk about or try to think about things to say, technically, you've just become something to talk about. So you're giving me things to say, inadvertently helping me. Thank you. Thank you so much, Fred. Happy New Year to you, Matthias. Thank you for joining us, brother bear. You've been missed. How have you been? How's life been treating you? How has this new year been for you so far, Matthias? Jenny, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's nice to have you here. Happy Moon Day, Jenny. Moon Day. Why would you call it Moon Day? I'm pretty sure the moon isn't full right now. Is Moon Day? Happy Moon Day to you, Jenny. Good morning to you, my bearded friend. Thank you, Dan, for joining us, my man. Whew. Dude, I think I've sent you a message on the Patreon, like, message board, or direct message platform. I want to send you your photos. I actually took them. Maybe I should send you a message on Discord. Or no, actually, Discord is going to reduce the photo sizes. I don't know if Reddit reduces photo file sizes or something. Send me a message, friend. I've taken your photos. I really want to send them to you. Oh, yes, thank you. I'm stupid, Jenny. I'm with stupid. Monday is Moon Day. Thank you so much. I appreciate you correcting me, Jenny. What do you mean you? As in when you go to sleep? I don't know. That's a good question. What's his name? Spreeditus. Spreeditus. I like your username, friend. You see, like, the you I consider myself is the one that has been building memories, onto my neurological hardware. So the things I've been through, the experiences I've had, have slowly but surely been etched into my neurology, into my brain, into the way my neurons fire. And the way my neurons fire, the little connections my brain has made, the myelin seeds that is wrapped around my synapses, are now technically firing, in a default mode network kind of way, my active consciousness. So when I go to sleep, I feel it's maybe the alleviation of that default mode network, at least temporarily. It eases off that I am this is my continuity. I eat food. I haven't eaten food in X amount of time. If I don't eat food, at some point I'm gonna be hungry. That is the you I consider, that goes to sleep. But technically, the you that you always are never sleeps. It's in mind. It is timeless. It doesn't really get affected by any of it. At least that's what I think. What do you think, Spreeditus? I am working on those things I was procrastinating on. On your knitting? Or your... Yeah, it is knitting, right? When it rains? Do you feel you've been procrastinating as in you haven't been getting them done? Or you haven't been getting started with the one you need to get done? Or are you starting a bunch of different ones and not finishing any of them? Like, what procrastination is it exactly? I think I was talking with my mother. I think I know why things have been so hard for me to change. At a young age, I was diagnosed with ADHD, bipolar reactive attachment disorder, and an unspecific mood disorder. I think you've shared a little bit of that. For me, it was also ADHD. I was diagnosed with dyslexia. I still am a little bit. Like B's and D's kind of flip around in my brain. They don't really want to stay put. So, I've been dealing with that. Yeah, like depression as well when I was going into my teenage years. But I don't believe any of that stuff defines me, Kartha. They might be symptoms, if you will, of my neurology. Again, and in the same way that the you that is being fired right now, the ego that is being fired right now, is a part of what I am. I can see completely that it's a part of what I am. It's not the complete picture. And when people try to diagnose you, they're trying to diagnose the neurologist, the neurological rather part of yourself. Your brain does weird things sometimes, but it's not you. You're not those things. You're not ADHD. You're not dyslexic. You're not these things. It's just something that you might be experiencing, Kartha. I don't really want to go back on meds, so I quit around 18, but maybe I need them. All I know is these talks help more than I felt medicine had. My friend, and just the fact that you can say that, I would never claim something like that, but the fact that you felt that, that's surreal to me. Like, where would you ever hear something like that? These conversations are helping more than my medication. I feel these conversations are just trying to pull us to more awareness. And I feel a lot of the suffering we can experience sometimes, Kartha, is just being unaware. This morning, I've been having a feeling of like this low hum anxiety, and I've shared this with you friends a little bit before. And I am making, I guess, decisions that would influence that low hum anxiety. And you're like, oh, it didn't melt. What decisions are you making? I'm smoking a lot of weed right now. I'm smoking a lot of weed. And I don't want to say I need to stop. So like I'm not bothered by this. But I do need to take it a little bit slower. I'm planning on taking a break, starting in February again for a while. Probably for 3 weeks. We'll see how it goes. I look forward to it with you friends. Not sure in a doctor's office. Not in a doctor's office, that's for sure. Like I want to say some stuff, Kartha, but it's a little bit out there, dude. So I'd rather not. Let me say rather. Imagine, imagine right now in this moment, you are in the doctor's office actively, and there are beings that you might not be able to see working on you. All you have to do is let them. All you have to do is let them. Moderation is key. I used to smoke way too often for years and years, but recently I've been out. The first few days are always the worst, but overall it feels kind of nice. Gartha, I on October, the 1st of October up until the last day of October, I went completely no caffeine, no weed, obviously no alcohol. For the first 2 weeks, no food as well. It was good. It was a lot of good. I had no problems with that at all. The third week was a little bit weird with my dreams, but it wasn't the lack of weed that was bothering me. It was more my own psyche manifested, that I was scared of. And I was like, oh no. And then at some point, during that whole journey, I felt like I was pinned down. I had like the whole sleep paralysis demon experience. I opened my eyes and I was stuck. And it felt like I was in my room, but I was dreaming that I was in my room. And I was dreaming, seeing myself stuck. And then it was like I woke up from that. And then I was again in my room, dreaming that I'm stuck. And it felt in that moment like it would go on infinitely, just this perpetual loop of, oh, I'm stuck, oh, I need to wake up, oh, I wake up, now I know that I'm stuck, oh, I'm stuck, I need to wake, no, 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 no. And then at one point I got so anxious that I started screaming. I started screaming, and in my dream state I see myself sleeping kind of like peacefully, But in my waking world, if you will, I can hear myself screaming. And I'm like, oh goodness, that's extremely unsettling. And then I stopped screaming suddenly. And I told myself, I'm the one holding myself down. And as soon as I said that, it was like some sort of plug, got replugged into my body. I gained ability over my body again, and I was like, oh, it's me. These nightmares, these stuck in bed sleep paralysis feelings, it's just me doing it to myself. And as soon as I recognized that part, I stopped doing it. I need to break my choice. Moderation is key. I need to break my choice, but it will come when I'm ready. I consume too much caffeine, nicotine, THC, etc. We have some today for our neighbor though, and I'm glad because I feel like I need it. Sometimes we just need to make sure those connections for ourselves before we can repair them. You are right. Sometimes we have to be told difficult lessons. Sometimes we have to see things in a light that we don't usually see it. Sometimes we have to daydream. Hmm. That is today's intention, to daydream. And now that we've lit this, all events are neutral is the first thing I see. And then a page to this one by itself. It goes, I am the one who chooses the effects I experience. I alone interpret all neutral relationships or experiences. I alone place value upon objects, things, thoughts, and belief systems. I alone am the literal creator of my moment to moment experience. Daydreaming. Daydreaming. You are the creator of your moment to moment experience. And by daydreaming, you're just creating a whole nother layer of experience on top of this layer of experience you're already experiencing. Yossi, baby. Yossi. Being a human being is weird, yo. Nobody gave me any instructions. Damn it, someone please give me some instructions. I'm procrastinating. Happy New Year, maleficent cycle. Thank you for joining us as well. Dame, a daydream is a meal at which images are eaten. Some of us are gourmet, some of us are gourmands, and a good many take their images pre-cooked out of a can and swallow them down whole, absent-mindedly, and with little relish. What a trip! What a trip! That's quite a quote, dude. Thank you for sharing that, Cartha. Hey, Princess Mononoke. Thank you for joining us. I think you were doing a great job at humaning. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so much. Like society would disagree, but the fact that you you don't disagree gives me some sort of calm. Thank you, genuinely. I appreciate it so much, Jenny. Morning, friends. The meltiest of melts. Dame, sorry for missing your message for so long, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I need to work on my procrastination, but I keep putting it off. That's hilarious. I have a daydream about the finishing thing, and now it is time to do it. Absolutely. What's your favorite psychedelic? Mushrooms. You just dropping by for hello and quick love. Thank you. Tom. Thank you. Paying and paying friends. His name is Tom. If you would remember, if you would try to remember with me, I'll make sure to say it as well. Thank you for joining us, Tom. It's so nice to have you here. Isn't daydreaming without purpose? If you believe it is, then yes, it is, Fred. It's completely without purpose. But if it's not without purpose in your conceptualized reality, then it's not without purpose. It's literally what you choose. Your moment to moment reality is being created by you, friend. Daydreaming can be so important to find inspiration for the future reality you want to create yourself. Talia, thank you for saying that and for joining us today, my friend. How are you feeling? How have you been? How has your journey of self-exploration been? I feel it's an appropriate time to check in on you. Hey Jenny, how have you been? Better day. There we go. So much love being shared. Thank you, Jenny. And Mononoke. Thank you for the silver shiny. I appreciate that. Thinking of ways to make content seems like work, not daydreaming. But it is daydreaming, my friend, because some of it is not necessarily realistic right now. And if I cannot dream these realities, then I would not be able to create them in reality either. I'm having this dream of realizing these things, these scenarios, these quite physical objects. I'm going to take stuff in my head and I'm going to put it onto a computer, and then I'm going to take that computer and tell it to slice my part into little slithers, and then I'm going to tell another object that extrudes plastic. I'm going to tell it to lay down those little layers, and then from my mind into electronic medium, back into the physical realm, I can create my dreams. You can create your dreams. This is the world we live in now. Thank you for saying hi, Talia. His name is Tom. His name is Tom. That's why we are a creative collective. There we go. That we are. Mm, Sorry, Kartha. Like, I feel the YouTube comments have been taking more of my time. I feel like for some reason it's easier to comment on YouTube. Maybe I'm tripping out. The internet is one of the lightest things and the darkest creations of man. There is a lot of evil shared within it. However, for those enveloped in the light, like ourselves, it brings us together across the world. 3D printing brings us closer to true creationalism. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, Kartha. I have. I have imagined things, dude. Like, I don't even know if I want to get into that. You know what? We're talking about daydreaming. I've had this daydream of myself in a previous life as a previous being, in a previous technological state where my mind was completely melded with the rest of creation, and it was done so technologically. So my entire environment would react to me as I would react to it. And as I moved, my environment would transform around me. As I would think something, my environment would create it for me. As literally as fast as I can form a desire, that desire was instantly realized in front of me in a physical form. And it was just technology. All of it was just technology. We just figured out in that state of existence to do everything, you know, for atoms to self assemble in a space and to connect our minds to that self assembling space. It was surreal. I was like, and you know what I found while I was there? I found that I still had things to complain about if I wasn't present. If I wasn't appreciating where I was and what I had and what I was doing, I found things to complain about. Because as soon as I was contracting away from all that is beautiful, I found things that were lacking. And it was a big wake up call as well. I have been daydreaming about the time when I am healed, going back to school to get the certificate as an alcohol and PTSD counselor. So we have a flower called a varkoor, Tom, here in South Africa. And as soon as I wanted to daydream about this with you, I saw this. I'm thinking about Naomi right now. I guess you call it a spike coming out of the ground, and this spike with inside of it held this varkoor, this flower that has like a little bit of a cylinder in the middle of it, and then it has this beautiful, like single opening leaf petal or flower petal. I wish I could show you a photo. I can see it in my mind's eye, but I see this, this dream of yours coming to fruition, my friend. This flower is growing right now. You are actively enveloping your roots in good soil and allowing yourself to be watered. I can see it happening, my friend. Continue going. I look forward to realizing this dream with you. Yes, Mr. Toast, the collective is so much energy. And we decided ourselves that we're going with the part of energy that we have. We can create love or hatred. And we'd be using the exact same energy to create either. That's the surreal part. if you're going to be daydreaming about horrible realities, about potential threats, about fears and potential sufferings coming very soon, then your active reality is going to be enveloped with, panic driven action, trying to support yourself or defend yourself to prior attack. And you're not going to allow yourself to be present. But if you can daydream of a reality where people love one another, where people care about one another, where people are taken care of, as one of the most important, essential duties of our humanity is to take care of one another, then suddenly, the daydreaming, I feel, has an air of hope to it, and this moment, I realize as well, in that context, that we're creating that reality by living it in this moment. My girlfriend is in love with your energy. I feel a little jealous. Mud MD is the most beautiful man I've ever seen in my life. His I wanted to go so hard, but I think I'll skip over that one. His muscles are so bulging. His hair is so thick that you could probably, carpet the entire world with it. His eyes are so piercing and true. His smile is so absolutely invigorating. Don't be jealous, my friend. You are beautiful. And I'm literally thousands of kilometers away, unfound, dude. I'm a freaking hermit. I love you, man. So much love to you, my friend. Man, I'm getting blasted by beams of sun right now, and I will not shift. I will not shift my positioning, son. You cannot bully me out of my seating. Anyone has experience with ADHD? What influence do you feel it has on daydreaming habits? I feel it makes me forget my daydreams, Talia, because I'm daydreaming in such rapid succession. By the time the second daydream starts, the first daydream has already been melted, if you will, into the rest of the whole. And sometimes the daydreams, at least in the context of creation, of content creation, can be useful. How about you, Talia? I'm curious. Tom says, in daydreaming and thoughts manifesting my cure and future, helping people going through what I have been through, maybe making $1 in the process. I can definitely see that. I'm imagining a world in which genetic editing is something that's pretty prolific and open sourced. So 100%, my friend. I can definitely see that, Tom. So much love. Northern Lolo, love you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Dry, it's so nice to have you here as well. And thank you for the wholesome mud. I wish you the best, my counselor friend. Flower has sprouted, the candle was lit, and all is left to wait. All is left to wait. You cannot force a flower to open. You would just kill it in the process. You have to wait. You have to be patient. In Uncle Becky's words, it's a thing worth saying in the book as well. If the only teacher is time, the only lesson is patience. The only lesson is patience. I feel like ADHD forces us to live in the moment without realizing it, feeling the same way. As I forget the daydream. That's kind of creepy, actually. I like that interpretation. I feel like we're living within them rather than with them. Man, she smells so good. Mm, 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 mm. You smell so good. I gave her a shower today. She really doesn't like it. Like really, really doesn't like it. She's not scared of it. Like no tail tucking, but she's really not happy about it. Yeah, I'm making fun of you. I'm making fun of you. That's what I'm doing. Peace, brother. Have a lovely day. Thank you, my friend. I hope you have a lovely day as well. Hey, you're hurting me. You're hurting me. Stop hurting me, please. Thank you. Love is the best medicine, and we're channeling so much love here. like a, so if we were transparent, You know, like, okay, I want to say a thousand things at the same time. If you shine light through something transparent and you shine enough light through it, eventually light starts to refract to the point where that entire object becomes illuminated itself. And I feel that's what's happening in these spaces. Like living rather than with them, mailing love like a speedball. Thank you so much, my friend Carta. I feel you. The only thing is, weed is so fun and relaxing and helps with so much. It's almost hard to find reasons to not smoke it. I feel you, is what you were saying. The only thing is, weed is so fun and relaxing. That's, and it's that, the relaxing part. Now, I'm not too concerned with having fun. Actually, I might be lying. So I wanted to say I'm not too concerned with having fun. I just kind of enjoy being calm and relaxed. But for me, being calm and relaxed is fun. So if I'm not calm and relaxed, I'm not having fun. So I'm usually trying to mediate or medicate that. And I was doing that today. I had this low hum anxiety, that was perturbing me. And then I smoked some bud. I set my intention to be present, to be aware, to like, I think I didn't specifically state not to be anxious, but I alluded to it. Like, yes, it would be great as well if I would be less anxious, please. Like asking, praying almost. And it helps, and it does help. But now the question is, am I helping myself be anxious and then helping myself not be anxious? Yes. Melita, I feel like complaining, sorry. I feel like complaining is overused by some, myself included. So it is not appreciated for its useful side. We can't make anything better if we pretend everything is perfect. That's true, Jenny. I feel, to add to that, very important is to, if you're going to complain, if you will, about something, try and also suggest a way of making it better or suggest a way of improving it. It might not be the correct suggestion, it might not even be remotely close to what is the right thing to do, but maybe it will provide a little bit more perspective, a little bit more insight for the person that you are lifting your concerns with. Maybe that prompts them to think of the right answer, if you will. Without anything to complain about, there is no perfection. It's all balance. The good days exacerbate the bad, and vice versa. The infinity symbol. Sometimes we're going down, ooh, going up again, you're going down, ooh, going up again, going down, ooh. Yeah, up and down and 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 down and up and down and up. What? You don't like this position? Yeah, I can't imagine it's comfortable. Hey, 8 Weight is here again. Whoa. I think I missed. Are you being weird? Are you being weird? Stop being weird. Yes, Melina, the atmosphere we're creating here sadly is so rare. This is why I think our space right here can be life changing. The love can show you an incredible healing mindset you have never known before. It's all us, and this love is real. It's not something that we're it's not something that we're privy to or we're special for finding. We're just believing in it. We're like, oh yes, love is true. In fact, this one thing in my life that has been true my entire existence, instead of just knowing it, now we're showing up for it. And you friends are. And I appreciate you so much for that. What a day for a daydream. What a day for a daydreaming boy. And I'm lost in daydreams, daydreaming about my bundle of joy. And even if time ain't really on my side, it's one of those days for a walking, for taking a walk outside. And even if I want to read that again. And even if time ain't really on my side, it's one of those days for talking. Why can't for some reason, I think the way you're writing it wants me to say talking. For taking a walk outside. Thank you, 8 Wait, for sharing that poem with us, my friend. That's beautiful. Thank you for daydreaming with us. Can you calm down a little bit, please? You're being a little bit spice. You know, I'm gonna put you there. Yeah, I'm gonna put you there. You know, no, don't want you on me. I'm gonna put you down there. Yeah. I'm gonna put you down there. That's it. Go away. I don't want you. Fine, fine. You can be on my lap. Fine, that's fine. Guess I can see you win. Yes, night dreams are really important and offer you a helpful hand in sending you symbols about what you're doing wrong while you're awake. Okay, Melita, I've never heard this side of you. Hmm. So if I don't dream, what are you saying? I'm just doing everything right? Yes, see. Suddenly, suddenly my ego explodes. Ah, wow. I'm joking. Alexandre, thank you for joining us, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Asha mash mash mash. How are you doing, my handsome friend? How are you doing? Asha mash mash mash. You need to give me some space. I cannot focus. I will not focus. Weed is so highly dependent on the activities you relate to it. Some just watch TV and eat unhealthy food, while others use it to connect with the universe and the experience of life. That's what I've been trying to do. Pepe! Yossi! My joy. She even pierced it. Yossi, Pepe. You say like your friends were thinking I was joking, right? When I was saying that Pepe is a weed stealer as well. I wasn't joking. She actually steals my weed. You know, if I don't pay attention, if I put a nug down for a second, gone. It just gets yeeted. I don't know if I can smoke it like this, but now I kind of want to. You know, and a part of me is like, her mucus is on this joint right now. So is me smoking it going to influence me in some way? Or am I just daydreaming? Hmm, kind of works. I'm very bored in my job. I'm daydreaming and being able to live without spending my whole day in my office. You have to, friend. What a beautiful thing that is to say, actually. I'm daydreaming so I don't have to spend my whole day in my office. I like that, Alexandre. Thank you, friend. Mm. I think the difference is indica or sativa. Interestingly enough, 8 Wait, indica and sativa aren't really the best means of identifying weed. Not even a high THC versus low THC. THC. It's it's more nuanced than that. Exchange habits with new habits you love. Works like a charm. It does. You're completely right. And that would be something I'd recommend. Is weed legal in South Africa? Fortunately, it is. It's legal for me to even grow for myself. It's legal for me to give it away for free. It's legal for me to have 6 pounds of it in my car. Yeah, that's a little bit ridiculous, I know. But it's not legal for me to sell it. So I don't. Do you use any nutrients when you're growing or just all natural? Mostly all natural. I do use manure. You know, we have cows and we have a stable. Is it a stable? And yeah, there's a bunch of poop. So I would take scoops full of poop. I've taken 8 scoops full of that poop for the one plant, for example. Mix it with a bunch of water, make like a thick slush, and then blah, 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 that on the plant's roots. And if I was a plant, I would be pretty happy about that. I'm pretty sure my plants are happy about it. Yeah, 8 Wait, that is too. But I personally have made both experiences with both kinds. What's your experience? I'm curious as well. Do you ever lucid dream? Steve, I do, but not nearly as much as I would like to. I feel one part of me wants to say, And the other part of me says, I don't necessarily think daydreaming is what I want to do, because at one point when I started to, I was robbing myself of sleep, and I was also robbing myself of continuity of my dreams. You know, one dream, I found myself in this arena, like kind of like Hunger Games esque. I was running at this kind of crashed plane who had its, hull torn open, and there was weapons on the seats, on the plane seats. And I was running into it, and I was running up between the seats, and I stopped, and I was like, "The fuck is going on?" And then I realized I'm dreaming. And then instead of just flying out of there or creating a new reality, I was just then suddenly aware, oh, I'm dreaming. And then the whole narrative, the whole air of, oh, I need to survive, I need to find myself a weapon, I need to defend myself, was just suddenly, oh, here I am. And then I was like walking on this battlefield, watching people kill each other. And I felt super zen. I felt like, yes, I am aware. Walking through this battlefield with people dying, explosions next to me. But I was separate in that moment from it. I wasn't completely viscerally involved, and that's why I don't like to lucid dream as much. I'll appreciate it if it happens in the moment, but I don't want to do it actively because I feel I'd be robbing myself of the stuff I could be experiencing chaotically, if you will. My journey is doing very well, by the way. I'm both recognizing more and more things in my life that are offered up, but I am finally realizing, finally doing something about it, and already with this process, it's taking time. I hope everyone who's on this journey of self development too is having a good time with it and proud of themselves. Y'all are doing a perfect job at just existing. Thank you for saying that, Talia. I couldn't agree more. We have so much to worry about, to feel judged by, to feel guilty for, that at least in this space, we have to allow ourselves to be mirrors to one another that is unencumbered by that, to be clear enough of a mirror for us to allow each other to see each other. I cannot see myself at all. I'm barely seeing the text with the amount of light that's shining on the screen right now. The freaking sun. I don't know if it's bad for you. I'm sorry. Hey, Heather, thank you for joining us, my friend. How are you doing, my beloved sister? How's your mom doing? I hope that she's getting a lot better. I feel like she should be 50% better by now. That's the percentage I'm feeling. Mm, luckily in France, so I think I missed some. Do you use any nutrients? Another one. Lucky, you wish France will legalize it, but our politicians are backwards. It's stupid. Alexandra, it will get legalized worldwide eventually. It's just a matter of time. I would love it, but maybe not China. I would love it to be in a place in my life where I'm truly in control and I achieve my dreams and desires so I can travel one day. I want to see the world and I'd love to experience Melt's Corner of the World. Kartha, you are the only one that can realize that dream for yourself. Like you can daydream it, and if you can daydream it, you can realize it. This saying, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. Do that, my friend. You can do that, Kartha. I believe in you. Letting go is key. Letting go of everything and accept our imperfections. Accept change. Accept that things change. Allow yourself to change with them. Man, people are so terrified of change, and it's the one thing that is constant. It's the one thing that you're always going to find. Becoming an agent of change. You can take some control. Hey! Stop it. She's digging holes in the grass. Good morning, dear Heather. How's life? I can only imagine what nightmare daydreams the Ukrainian people are going through collectively if the only could mass stream this to their population. Technically, we can. You know, that's the trip as well. But even if we were able to, Tom, some of them wouldn't resonate with this space. And if it was streamed to the mass population, then it would also be forced, which would again serve a counter purpose. I feel us showing up in this space, keeping this space open to anybody who wants to join it, is the only way that we can truly make real change in this world, because we're all showing up here with a reason, with a want to be here. STN is 28 minus 28 degrees. You soak up that sunlight. I'm sending you. You know what? Instead of beams of light hitting my skin, kind of getting absorbed by bouncing around a bunch and then exciting a bunch of my atoms and allowing me to heat up, quite literally translating into my body, and it like vibrates a little bit, heating me up. I'm just going to imagine it going straight through me. All of that heat goes straight through right into your world, Heather. Sending you the heat, my friend. Goodness, you need it. Man, I cannot see anything. Sun, please. Please, sun. Please, please. Please. uh, Letting go is key. One day we'll get there. It was -9 degrees here last night. -20 is crazy. I cannot even imagine. The coldest I've experienced, Cartha, is -5. I think it will happen to Ryan. His name is Tom, my friend. Does daydreaming have to happen during the day, as in during the awake state? I feel so, yes, Heather. I don't think you can daydream if you're not conscious, like conscious in the way that we are right now. I know it will. That's up and down of the infinity symbol perfectly describes life. Thanks for the idea. Well, Talia, that's literally why our entire, like the space's logo has now become that. It was initially these two M's, and in my mind, it was perfect. I was like, yes, melt more, MM, perfect. Nothing to be changed. And then me and Christian took 5 grams of mushrooms together, and we stared into each other's infinities like for the entire day. Tried to have conversations, just looking at one another, trying to understand what the hell is going on. And the next day, the next morning, I took my double M's. I took one of the M's away and I completed it into an infinity symbol. And it's what we're about. It's what we're talking about. It's the ups and downs. It's the ebbs and the flows. It's also two triangles. So as above, so below. Masculine, feminine. It's a butterfly. It's everything. It's infinity. It's infinity. Quite literally infinity. Think of daydreaming, sleep, and the subconscious, therefore influencing your unconscious mind. That's interesting, Kartha. Oh shoot, I missed the beginning of the stream. I got very distracted playing Minecraft. Hey, Naomi. Thank you for joining us, my friend. It's nice to have you here. It's completely okay as well. You're here now. That's what's important. Man, I cannot read the text. Son, please, please, son, please. I'm begging you, dude. Like, I wonder if it's gonna get better. Is it gonna get better? I cannot. It's gonna come down. It's probably not gonna get better. You know what I was jokingly saying that I won't be moved by the sun. You know what? No, I will not. I'll cover my head so I won't get blasted by sunbeams in the back. But I will not be moved. I will not be moved by mere rays of light, by mere beams of radiation. Stop trying to kill me, son. Stop it. Stop it, dude. Stop trying to kill me, please. I am vibrating optimally so that I do not get skin cancers and stuff. Yes? Sun isn't having any of it. It's like, nah, bro. I'm still shooting you with UV, literally destroying your DNA. Fortunately, my DNA is pretty good at rebuilding itself. Let's hope it continues being good at it. And you're like, yeah, Melt. Every one of us are. Literally, like our DNA is really good at repairing itself. I need to work on dishes, laundry before I can hop back on Minecraft because of a giant, big, deep dripstone cave I want to explore, but I know I will get distracted and not do my chores if I go now. That's hilarious, Naomi. Thank you for getting stuff done first. What's up? The infinity symbol perfectly. You're teaching us to truly feel the positive positivity and love, Mel. I truly and deeply felt that. Thank you. Thank you, Talia. This is what all of we are. I'm not any more special. I'm just another person. I'm just another person that has some practice in a weird field. I don't know what field we're practicing, but I'm practicing. I'm trying to get as good as I can and trying to share from that space, trying to share from that constant trying to learn together. I'm a beginner, and I'm thinking about Ryan right now. I'm genuinely a beginner. Whatever it is we're starting, I'm a beginner as well, and we're in this journey together. I have been daydreaming about the more coming together in and as a big group in person, but I also keep realizing this is enough. Ryan, it's gonna happen, my friend. Like we've been talking about something called the Melting Festival, or the Melt Fest, actually, is what we dubbed it. And like eventually we want to have a whole festival, maybe on the Haywire Hill, get some really good sound, have some cool tarps up, play some Cytrons, give people scarves to dance with, dance, be amongst one another. It's gonna happen, friend. It's just a matter of time. This moment, this space is where we're starting. It's like building with what we have. If we're building a house right now, I have like cups of sand, but I'm trying to like pour these cups of sand and stomp down the foundation, if you will, for the house to be built. We're building together. It'll be fun to dance with yells one day. I look forward to it. Jovan, I can see it in my mind's eye, and I can see myself in that space, being in disbelief of being in that space, while also and remembering, imagining all of the time that we've spent in this space, talking about the realization of that space. And within that manifested space, I'm gonna be like, the fuck? Am I here now? What the fuck? And I can see it. I can see it for us. I can see it for all of us. It's beautiful. I love that you're taking on the sun, bringer of life to us, and Melt wants to bend her to his will. Kelly, you're just sitting in the sun. You know what? I don't get to sit in the sun a lot, so I feel even though it's not all pleasant, it is an experience, and we don't get to have it all the time. Maybe I'll appreciate shade even more. Persistent, the boomerang and dog, the loving spoonful, they went way back. I'm a chemistry student, and you've given me the sudden urge to smoke a blunt and do science. Thanks for the inspiration, man. Like a Barros, you are so welcome, my friend. Inspiring someone to smoke a blunt and do science. I didn't ever think I would say those beautiful collection of words. Well, fuck that. Thank you, like a virus. You go and do that, my friend. That brings joy to my heart. I'll smoke a blunt for you, for science and for daydreaming. For daydreaming about science. I'm surprised it's still smoking. Those holes are doing less damage than I thought they would. Mm-hmm. You noticed. Oh, and another thing about daydreaming, isn't it absolutely fantastic we can create pretty much anything in our minds? Fantasy requires some training and can be used in an unhealthy way, but damn, it's fascinating. It's divinity, is what I call it, Talia. It's quite literally divinity. It's the part of you that is God, to be able to create realities within inside of your mind. because I believe we are quite literally encapsulated within a larger reality like that right now. You know, who knows? Maybe if you imagine right now a planet with a bunch of creatures that has one eye, you know, pointy little ears, they have a small little dangly bit, you know, on their foreheads. Apparently, it it emotes, you know, showing some emotion as well. You know, you can see that, right? Who am I to say that that whole species, that whole thing that I just thought just had a civilization, just lived their lives, just experienced what it's like to grow up, experience love, experience heartbreak, experience, you know, success in a chosen skill, experience failure in, you know, something it thought it was important. Who are we to say that didn't happen? And who am I to say, who am I to believe that I'm infinite enough to be able to imagine anything that doesn't already exist within the larger infinity? So yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's all insanity, and yet we're these beings aware of these things. I'm so happy to be aware with you, friends. Nice roots, bro. Thank you so much. Bob, it's nice to have you here, my friend. How are you doing? If you describe daydreaming with that description, it almost sounds like a mindset for goals. I mean, the way I feel about it, Heather, is almost like you're daydreaming because you're trying to be somewhere or trying to realize something that isn't here or hasn't been realized yet, right? So at least maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe we daydream about things like the whole alien scenario. That was a daydream, right? But maybe in a certain amount of time it will get realized. Maybe it's just not here now. So I don't know. I don't know, Heather. I'm not making any truth claims. I'm just exploring this with you. Thank you for asking such cool questions. Did you get the doggo get high from that? I think I missed something. Did Tom say something? The spoonful like way back. I don't know. Maybe it got deleted. Oh, hello, folks. Aunt B, thank you for joining me. It's so nice to have you here with us. So much love to you. Man's daydreaming a battle royale. No, my friend. That was just an actual dream. Um, our goat napped for 2 days after eating a plant. Oh, good. That's hilarious, Oddby. That kills me. I wonder if he enjoyed that 2 day nap. I can't imagine he did. Half day finish. Enjoy the Monday vibes. Thank you, friend. Have a good one yourself. Happy Monday. Near boo. The goat must have had the wildest dreams. The kitten has been castrated. He is sad. Will weed help him? I don't know if weed will help him, but they do like other drugs. You know, catnip apparently is something they appreciate. But if he's just been castrated, I think you should probably give him some time to heal up. Sorry, little cat. What's your hot take? Sci-fi society. Okay, you know, I'm happy I took that breath because it reminded me of my sanity. Thank you. It is our first day out of quarantine. Pippi is chasing a butterfly. Did you see it? Did you see the butterfly? Oh gosh. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's our first day out of quarantine, and as soon as I pulled into the driveway, I was already getting a call from the school. Not a moment of rest, huh? On the literally not a second, not a split second of rest. Oh gosh, Bambo came. I once experienced the dog on weed. She was having a horrible time because she was absolutely scared and confused. I'd recommend you not give it to her. I'd recommend the same, friend. They they don't know what's happening. You know, the reason we can enjoy this is because we're consciously doing it to ourselves. we're like, oh yes, I roll weed, I light weed, I inhale weed. Oh, experience. For them, it's just, oh, yum yum yum. Ah! What the fuck is happening to me? Like that's kind of what happens to them. It's no, oh, I just took this substance. This substance is supposed to make me feel something. Oh, now I'm feeling something. Must be that. Must be that. It's just, oh, now I'm feeling something. What is that? What is that? So they don't really enjoy it. At least most of them don't, from what I've known, what I've seen, what I've heard. I think he loved it because it doesn't seem to harm him, and I had to keep it outside the house to stop it. Hmm. Like I'm guessing, I think I missed your message or it got deleted, Tom. Maybe if you send it again. The heater in the house isn't working still, and none of us felt like getting out of bed. We were going to make it a great day no matter what. Absolutely on B. I hope that the firewood has been keeping along. I know there is a lot of firewood on the Haywire Hill right now, at least. To you friends who are like concerned about on B being cold, they do at least have a fireplace. Sober cat for now, then, please. Yeah, for now, sober cat. Damn, on B, did you have the Rona yourself, or did you just have to get into quarantine? I think there might have been some Rona on the Haywire Hill. Thank you for joining us, Tate. It's nice to have you here, about the Bay. How are you doing? How are you doing, man? I feel like when you're here only for like a second, so I'm just sending love and asking how you are. If you're still here, please do tell us. Damn, on B, if you, okay, for one, he is still a he if he's got his giblets. I guess so, yes. He's still very much. I think animals are also XX or XY chromosome, also dictating, their gender. I'm sounding unsure because I am. I'm pretty sure that's how it works as well, but right now in this moment, I don't have 100% certainty. Maybe like 85, but 15%. That's a big bullseye if you were shooting at it. If that makes any sense. I had it. That is good to hear, Tom. Well, I've explained that I've seen with dogs and weed. Happy to hear. I have a much better outcome. I'm also happy to hear that at least you're getting sun. I'm getting like my daily dose, my weekly dose, probably monthly dose of sun right now, friend. Intellect is the energy of change. Yo, I want to sit with that one. Intellect is the energy of change. Melita, the more I think about it, the more right I think you actually might be. Because intellect, at least applied intellect, can realize so much change. That's a trip. I'm just thinking about, the intelligence of humanity, of our collective geniuses, and how it has led us to having devices like this right now. It's kind of surreal. And no individual could have done it alone. That's also. Ugh, the hay fever is beating my ass right now. Goodness, why? Why pollen? Why body? Relax with the histamines, dude, please. It's just pollen. It's just pollen. It's fine. Calm down. Did you handle it well on B? No worries at all. It wasn't too bad, thankfully. Still coughing up gunk, but grateful. I'm happy to hear you're doing better on B. Like this one has been a little bit easier for me as well. It seems like it's easier for most. We need to be able to release reasons properly to be able to flow with natural cycles. And every problem slash crisis is a chance for a change. And if we don't apply our intellect, if we just act on our baser needs, you'll make bad decisions. At least in my opinion, if you just act on the body, you'll make bad decisions. So I agree completely.
using your intellect for that change, almost being able to, through that intellect, see things from a perspective where you might recognize more opportunities for that change. 5 grand, 5 grand opened the Stargate. Oh yes, very much so, my friend. My friend was like, I was in that space. So it kind of went like this. We both took our gulps, and I decided to meditate. He decided to lay down, and while I'm meditating, I'm literally melting into the universe. Like I'm like, oh, sweet, no more me, just awareness within, infinity, if you will. I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, cool." And at some point, I feel some sort of urgency or whatever to go to my room, and I stand up, and at that point, like that's the thing as well. As I was meditating and I was completely melting into the universe, I was like, yes, this makes perfect sense. This is exactly the way it's supposed to be. And then upon coming back, opening my eyes, standing up, walking, picking things up, bipedling myself, if you will. I was like, oh goodness, I'm very much not normal right now, am I? And I walk past Christian's room and I knock on his door. I'm like, we're gonna be okay, homie. I, I scream. And I just hear him giggle. He just starts giggling like, almost like the crying giggle. And I go to my room. Like, we basically spend another 40 minutes or so coming up. And then we emerge into the living room, if you will. And I wanted to, like, I emerged into the living room first, and then I put something on. I'm You know what? I put something on my computer, started watching something, and I was just, blown away by it, obviously. My friend came in, and, I was so happy that he was actually willing to brave, a space with another person. So got excited about him being in the space with me, turned the computer off because I wanted to have a chat with him, and we literally spent the entire time just, spending time with one another. Oh, what? And instantly, I realized that he was significantly deeper, if you will, than I was. Like he was like, there is stuff bouncing off the walls right now, Melt. Like there's nothing stable anywhere in my environment. And I'm like, yes. And to me, I just see my environment as it is, but I can see what's going inside of I can see what's going on inside of my mind, outside of my mind, if that makes sense. I'm like, okay, yes. I see everything as it is. I'm comfortable with everything as it is. My friend is very much not comfortable with everything as it is. So in that moment, I had to take on this air of calm, this air of, like solitude. Not solitude. What's the word I'm looking for? Just maybe solitude in the way where you are okay with just being yourself, if you will. And just being that in that space for him allowed him to be himself in that space, and it was insane. It was insane. Like he quite literally had galaxies opening up in front of him, on the carpet he just saw entire universes and spaces and solar systems, and he's explaining this to me, and I'm looking at him, looking at the carpet, and I'm like, hmm. Tell me more. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. I'm on the toilet watching you from Australia. Down under, my friend. Down under. You know, gravity is sick. I'm like, sorry. The fact that you're on the toilet, my mind went somewhere. No worries at all, friend. It wasn't too bad. Thank you, Auntie, for letting us know again. Kinda, sorta off topic, but I'm curious. What are your thoughts on God? Do you believe? If no, why? So this word God, my friend, is one that I feel has its significance because it's one that we agree upon, if you will, of this Oh yes, this God character. I believe all of it's God, including you, friend, including the blades of grass I'm sitting on right now, including the molecules of oxygen that just got absorbed by my lungs. It's all God. All of it is God, my friend, and we are in pursuit of that, of this moment, of this experience, of the love that can be shared in this moment. The conceptualization of God as this externalized deity, entity somewhere out there, I cannot subscribe to. So, in that idea of God, I do not believe. I believe that it's right here, my friend Steve. Thank you for asking such a question. New logo is absolute fire. Thank you, Toast. It, like, just having it come along, from, so the way I originally designed the original logo, I just got into exploring sacred geometry. And a part of sacred geometry, the golden ratio came up as something that our body, follows. Flowers follow it. Certain shells, like snail shells, follow this golden ratio. You can see it in nature as an expression of something being a smaller fraction of itself, being a smaller fraction of itself, being a smaller fraction of itself, and doing so in a rhythmic way that creates regularity. So I was exploring these ideas, and I was thinking about a way to bring that into the Meltmore logo. And this was 2019, like October, so long, like a year and 3 months before we would ever actually start to create as Meltmore, if you will. I was thinking about this and like trying to put this energy forward. And I created a normal little, square, and I divided that square into golden ratios, and I divided the squares that I divided into squares into golden ratios. And then out of those squares, I put my lines down for where these two M's were supposed to go, and that became the original Meltmore logo, these two M's. And those golden ratio measurements, if you will, are still kind of stuck into that, Meltmore M that turned into the infinity symbol right now. And the fact that it turned into that, long before we actually started having these conversations, long before we were going to explore the topics we were going to explore, that infinity symbol was already there. It just wasn't seen by me. It wasn't realized because I didn't look into infinity as I was supposed to, as I could have seen it. And it's growing, Brother Bay. It's growing quite literally, infinitely. Very glad to hear it, Poop. You're a strong being. Your physical body, you'll see. I think on B might have all of us going, if we're going to have to, like, I wanted to say something, and it's a weird daydream, but I was like imagining humanity is on the brink of collapse, or like some sort of alien species comes in and tries to take a sample, and they can just like take some hair from Aunt B and get her super body genetics, be able to survive multiple heart surgeries, birth multiple beings into this world, survive COVID. Goodness. Are you an Afrikaner? Ek is Afrikaans. Ek is, my vriend. Jy kan so sê, ja. Sorry, I've been missing the YouTube comments. Would be quite the experience. A Zoom shroom party may be necessary. Kelly, don't threaten me with a good time. That sounds crazy, actually. Nervous. I wouldn't be able to trust being. Mariah, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to read the YouTube messages. I'll see if I can get to them afterwards. Like, the sun is making it so difficult for me to see anything. The last time I took 5 grams of shrooms at once, I spent about 5 hours staring into a fireplace on a cold winter night. Flames were dancing just for me. And they were. And they were, Tom. Like, just think about this as well. Within the entire infinite universe, you and that flame had such a beautiful exchange. There might have been 5 grams of mushrooms involved, but there was such an amount of infinity experience between you two that I would, say was probably the most powerful of that type of infinity in the entire universe at that point. Think about that. Like you and that fire sharing that amount of energy with one another, just the radiant warm glow, the crackling and the sounds hitting your ears, the flames kind of dancing, gas literally. Phone is overheating. Man, my phone is overheating and it's going to be switching off automatically. The sun is literally blasting my phone into overheating. No. It will be no. Stop it. Stop it, sun. The sun is